Hey there, movie maniacs! It's time for another spooky video, a part of Vlogtober. And for tonight's spooky video, I'm going to be talking all about Zozo, the Ouija board demon. Zozo is a demon which is contacted through the use of a Ouija or spirit board. He will pretend to be a nice, friendly spirit, or whoever you are attempting to contact. However, he will then bombard you with disgusting threats and mean, cruel words, often repeating the letters over and over again, Z.O.Z.O, at a rapid pace. Claims of Zozo the demon first appeared when a man by the name of Darren Evans from Oklahoma posted an article on a paranormal internet forum about his experiences. Evans claims that he was playing with an Ouija board, I'm assuming trying to contact a loved one, when each time Zozo would make his appearance known. He stated that at first it would pretend to be a good spirit or whoever he was attempting to contact. However, it quickly took a turn for the worst when the planchette started quickly moving back and forth over the letters Z.O.Z.O over and over again. Then the entity began cussing at him, threatening him and those who were around him. He claims that the entity even cussed him out at one point in Hebrew or Latin. He would even find scratches on his body which would just appear out of nowhere. The entity claimed that it wanted to possess his girlfriends and take them to paradise. And when he would ask the entity what paradise was, it would spell out H-E-L-L. One evening, Evans claimed that he had walked into the bathroom to see his 1-year-old daughter about to drown. The mother of the daughter had apparently left her in there for just one split second. And when they returned, the water was overflowing into the floor and the little girl was lying face up in it, seconds away from drowning. They were at a complete loss as to how this water had gotten turned on in the first place. I mean, I believe that she left her in there because she was getting ready to give her a bath, from my understanding, but she didn't actually turn the water on yet. And I don't think that a 1-year-old could go and turn a whole knob by themselves, but you know, they are adventurous little boogers, so I mean, it is a possibility. The following day, the little girl was hospitalized from a mysterious infection which seemed to appear out of nowhere. His girlfriend at the time would switch over into a trance-like state. He claimed that the girl used to be sweet and caring, and now all of a sudden she had grown to be withdrawn and uncaring. Zozo had spoke to him in the days following and had stated that he wanted to possess her and eat her soul. Apparently in one incident, he claimed that he was doing some music for a rock project when he decided to pull out the board and ask Zozo his opinion. It spelt out iron tongue. Not long after this, his daughter's tongue had mysteriously swelled up. It became rock hard, it distorted her face, and it was so swelled up that it hung out of her mouth. He claims that it felt as though it took forever for her to recover from this incident. Evans also claims that even just saying the name Zozo will make the entity manifest itself. When they would have guests over, the guests would claim that they would hear voices having full-blown conversations inside of their walls. Objects would be thrown across the room. Spiders would appear out of nowhere. His girlfriend's brother even spent the night with them one night and claimed that he couldn't sleep because the voices inside of the walls were so loud and overpowering. Lights would turn off and on by themselves. Doors would open and unlock all by themselves. Vicious laughter was heard, and on one occasion, Evans and his girlfriend both experienced what felt like hands wrapping around their throat. On another night, him and his brother were outside and they were speaking about this curse that had its hold on their family. He let out the words, "I rebuke this curse in the name of Jesus Christ." He didn't even finish speaking those words before a loud, deafening sound and vibration was sent throughout his entire house. It had such an alarming boom that his neighbors had even came over and asked him if he had heard it. At which point, he decided that he was going to climb on a ladder and see if he seen anything on their roof. There was nothing there. Darren had multiple experiences with Zozo the demon. However, he was not the only one who had experiences. There have been hundreds of accounts of people stating that they had some sort of experience with Zozo while playing with an Ouija board. All of these stories regarding Zozo the demon all seem to go the same exact way. Someone will sit down to play with an Ouija board, or an Ouija board which they made out of paper, or even an app for an Ouija board. Anything that remotely resembles one. And at first, they start out talking to what they believe is a dead relative. They'll ask questions and are completely startled by how much this board is telling them about their loved one's life. And then suddenly, without warning, the planchette will just start moving so rapidly back and forth to the letters Z.O.Z.O. And that's when the threats begin. The Ouija board will then spell out obscenities and blasphemies until the person says goodbye. Zozo is often said to mimic the voices of the dead who the user of the Ouija board wishes to talk to. He is a cruel, sadistic demon who likes preying on people's insecurities and fears. He delights in telling people they will die soon. He loves to pretend he is other spirits, and oftentimes can pretend to be 3 different spirits at once. The story of Zozo dates all the way back to 200 years ago. Back in 1816, there was a book which mentions Zozo. The book was called Dictionnaire Infernal by Colin D. Clancy. Clancy speaks of a young girl who claimed to be possessed by 3 demons: Mimi, Capulet, and Zozo. The girl went down on the streets on all 4s, sometimes forwards, sometimes behind. Sometimes she walked on her hands, feet in the air, at the risk of putting passers-by in the confidence of her position. The strange movements were commanded by the demons which possessed her. It created enough commotion to the point that a priest even came and exorcised her. And when Zozo the demon left the young girl's body, it was said that all the windows in the room shattered. Colin de Plancy was a skeptic, and even though he recorded these events, the whole time he was claiming that he did not believe a word of it. But his story was not the first to have mentioned Zozo the demon. Some speculate that Zozo is actually derived from the Mesopotamian god Pazuzu, who was known to be the ruler of the demons. Further, a symbol etching out the name Zozo as a code for the god Saturn appeared in a banned occult book in 1521. This would later be copied by Led Zeppelin as the symbol for their guitarist Jimmy Page. Zozo was said to be the same demon who possessed Roland Doe whenever he played with an Ouija board. And if you guys aren't familiar with Roland Doe, I could do like a whole video on this entire story as well, if you guys would like me to. His story is the story which pretty much inspired the Exorcist movie. So yeah, I could do a whole video on that too if you guys want me to. Zozo and the Possession were written in a book called The Exorcist, which in turn inspired the movie. The Zozo demon has appeared on Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures, as well as starring in its own movie called I Am Zozo. So the next time you play with an Ouija board, always be careful and keep your guard up, or you may just so happen to summon Zozo for yourself. So there was the story of Zozo the demon. I'm not gonna lie, whenever I first heard this story, I was really freaked out about it. I think that's the reason why I never made a video on it before, because possession and demons and all that stuff, I believe that stuff's very real. I don't want to fuck with it. I mean, even though I pretty much have fucked with it before. However, my opinions on Ouija boards are very unpopular, and let me just say this. Okay, so this is my opinion on Ouija boards. I believe that an Ouija board, yes, you must always be careful with it when playing with one. But I feel like it all comes back to your intention. When you play with an Ouija board, or when you use an Ouija board, let me say, because an Ouija board is not a toy. If you're scared that you're gonna manifest something evil or a demon or something like that through playing with an Ouija board, then it's probably best you don't play with one, because more than likely your intention is that, you know, it's not really that that's your intention, but your fear is what manifests, and more than likely you're going to have a demon come after you if you play with one because you're scared. But if you play with one and you only have good intentions, you know, you follow all the rules and you're very careful, then you should be fine. Because I've played with one multiple times before. Yes, I have had, you know, stuff happen to me, but I don't believe it's related to any of the Ouija board stuff. And I feel like a Ouija board's like the same as any other type of ghost hunting equipment, like a spirit box, because you don't really know what you're contacting through a spirit box either. Now, I don't think that little kids, I know Ouija boards are in toy stores and stuff, and they're targeted at little kids as a game. I don't believe that little kids should be playing with them. That's my 2 cents. I don't know. I'm very, I feel like the media just distorts a lot of stories with witches and Ouija boards and all of that kind of stuff. And I have my own opinions about it. But I do believe Zozo the demon is real. And I think you should be very careful if you ever decide to use an Ouija board. But just remember, it's the same as any other ghost hunting equipment. But always say goodbye. That's the thing. Every time you play with an Ouija board, you're opening portals to the other side for spirits to come in and communicate with you. And if you do not say goodbye, you're not closing that portal. So every time you say goodbye, you're closing that portal and you're ending the whole tie to those spirits. But let me know what you guys think of this spooky story of Zozo the demon, and have you ever had him come through playing with an Ouija board? Let me know in the comments below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big old thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and become Morbid Maniac. Also be sure to hit that bell notification, that way you get notified every single time I upload a new video. And I now have an OnlyFans account where I will be posting all of my sexier content. So if you were interested in that as well, the link is always in the description box below, so you can go check that out. And I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.